We're back. So, me, Tony, of course, upon further review, this is the MCU Collective. I haven't said the name in a long time, but it is a
Yeah.
podcast. And if you notice on the video, it always says that. So, if you want to go back to old episodes, you can. Really want to talk about a couple of things. We're at the midpoint of Loki season two.
Yeah.
And after episode three, we can actually do some legitimate theorizing. Tony had a real good one before we ended. I cut him off abruptly because our time was running out and I wanted
Mhm.
him to have the full. You take the floor. Go ahead.
Okay. So we ended the last episode, episode 3, 1893,
Mm-hmm.
where Sylvie basically punted Ravonna Renslayer through a time door and sent her back to the Citadel at the end of time, where where Sylvie and Loki met. He who remains, and Sylvie killed him or whatever. So she punted it back there, but the thing is, it's been there for a while. So basically the building that's there is crumbling. You see the corpse, the decomposing corpse of he who remains. Miss Minutes, as we saw in the last episode, basically tried to double cross. She wanted that sweet thing from the He Who Remains variant known as Victor Timely, because they were trying to put him in the place of there. She was like, "Hey, you can't fault me for trying to take my shot. It failed." And she was just talking about how, man, like, I know something that you don't know, because it's a shame he gave me all the information. I know it
He
all.
said, I know something you
You
don't know.
don't know.
I got something to
Something to
tell
tell
you.
you, So she like, I know where the bodies are buried. I know everything. She knows everything. And then she looks at Ravonna and was like, "Hey, I even know something about you." And Ravonna was like, "Well, tell me." And she was like, "This is where I told Rashad my theory. What if Ravonna is a variant of He Who Remains, aka, because it could be, as I think or possibly feel, that this could be the antithesis of Loki and Sylvie, because Sylvie is a variant of Loki. She's a woman. And we all saw in the first season the different other variants of Loki. We saw Black Ballhead Steel Hammering John Henry Loki. We saw classic Loki. We saw Gator
Gator
Loki.
Loki.
We saw Kid Loki. And we saw Vote for Me President Loki. We've seen different variants of He Who Remains, aka Kang. We saw Kang the Conqueror in Ant-Man and the Wasp. We saw He Who Remains. We saw Red Centurion. We saw Amon Top. And we saw I can't think of the other Kang. And then we saw like the Council of Kangs at the
Yeah,
end at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp as well.
sure
But
did.
what if Ravonna is a female variant of that? And I only say that because that could possibly be like not a game changer, but it works too well. You know what I'm saying? He Loki and she Loki versus he Kang and she Kang.
And I mean, that would like that's an interesting theory. The only thing that I mean, Tony, you know what that would equal out to?
What's that?
The hero and the villain having the same power set and fighting against each other.
Yeah.
Iron Man, Ironmonger,
Yeah.
the
Right. Yeah.
Doctor Strange, Caecilius. It's like
Right.
it's one of those things. But like I do like that. Like that theory makes a lot of sense though to me, it's
Because
especially
you think
because
about it. Sorry, I'm gonna cut you off. Think about it like this. It's like, what secret could Miss Minutes know about Ravonna that's like,
so detrimental almost. You know what I'm saying?
detrimental?
Yeah.
And that to me seems like the most detrimental, type thing that could be, I don't know. Go ahead.
Nah, I like it, because for me, it still falls in line because you don't really know who's who, and that element of surprise just it kind of amps it up. Question: how do you think this issue does or doesn't get resolved this season? Because okay, I'm gonna say it. I think the temporal loom gets resolved. That
Mhm.
gets resolved. But is Victor Timely going to go to the TVA and then end up matriculating and ended up okay? Here's another question. Here's another question that and it ain't been answered, right?
What's that?
Why don't they age at the TVA for real? But they age very, very slow.
Right, because the last episode when Ravonna was having a conversation with Mobius, she sat there and said, "Look here, I've been a leader. I've been a leader for eons. You
I've
know,
been cleaning up your
your
mess for
mess for
eons.
eons." I think the time loom is going to get situation is going to get resolved. I do. My thing is, I think. Let me say this because I saw this earlier somewhere where I read somewhere. Apparently, we haven't even seen in the MCU for real the main menace Kang.
No, I mean, because think about it.
Yeah,
There's no way because
yeah.
let's just go back.
People want to think.
The way that they fumbled King the Conqueror is like that was that was one of those things where we don't know what to do with a good villain. You know what I'm saying? Because they could have the way they were setting it up, I was like, oh, this might be dope. And then they just was like, you know what, man, he's gonna get killed by Ant-Man and some ants. Like because as what they said, King the Conqueror is dead. So
Yeah.
I can't go off the thing that maybe hoping he's not. So I'm gonna go off the assertion that he's dead. There has to be another Kang and or Kangs who was more ruthless, more cutthroat, actually smarter than King the Conqueror.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't. That's a real smart.
Yeah,
That's smart.
Yeah, and then too, this goes back into, I guess, one issue that some people are having with this new era of the MCU, and I think we've talked about it before, Rashad, where the first what what phase are we in now?
Five.
So the first phases, you pretty much knew what we was leading to.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like we don't know where we're going with, you know what I'm saying, the big bad. Of course, they got, Avengers, the Kang Dynasty movie coming up and everything, but is Kang really going to be the big bad of this, fate? Because we still have unresolved issues with the Eternals, with the right, we still have unresolved issues with the Eternals. There's still a marbleized Celestial in the middle of the Indian Ocean right there that has not been mentioned at all in none of the in none of the MCU movies. And on top of that, Kang, along with interdimensional stuff going on as well with Shang-Chi, and then the stuff with Doctor Strange, where what is the end game?
No pun intended.
For this new chapter. But I did read somewhere, don't know how true it is, that so there is Avengers Kang Dynasty, but then there's going to be another Avengers
Secret Wars
or whatever that is supposed to reset the MCU.
It could, you know what I'm saying? Because think about it like this. If by the end of this we have Kang still running loose, you know what I'm saying? And they end up setting everything back up, we can easily have Kang Dynasty, really explore that, making a movie. Boom, Kang is done. But then we can have the whole essentially kind of like how they did with the Ultimates universe, where it's just a bunch of incursions, and then all of our people are going to be in the same universe. So it'll just be one timeline.
Yeah.
And then you can restart however you want. You can cherry pick who you want to be in it. And then we can get, X-Men and all the stories.
Because there's talks of Tony Stark's coming back. There's talks of, hey, listen, I know we saw him in and Wakanda Forever a little too soon, but talk of getting another adult T'Challa back because we can't wait. We can't wait for Toussaint to, you know what I'm saying, to grow up to become the Black Panther stuff. And I mean, even though Shuri is acting Black, but I'm hearing that that's what Secret Wars is supposed to do. So I'm just curious of like, what is the end plan, end game, whatever, for, you know what I'm saying, for all of this, you know, because right now it's just, it seems like they're just like, hey, let's just take a bunch of stuff. It's like a whiteboard and everyone has paint. And it's like, just throw it on that board. This represents the Celestials, blah. No, this represents Kang, blah.
You think this is represents... so basically what you're saying is Kevin Feige is trying to do his best Jackson Pollock fading?
Yes.
Damn.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Let's refocus. Let's refocus
back on Loki.
Just on
sorry,
Loki.
I went on a tangent. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Hey, another question I have now that we're talking, and don't think about Tom Hiddleston as a person, how much we love the character, but do you think this version of Loki survives this series? This, because remember, this is just a branch timeline Loki. Mm-hmm. He's not really our Loki. Our Loki, like you said last time, you know, no resurrection this time, wizard. You know what I'm saying? So he's dead. So do you think this version of Loki is going to survive this series?
Man,
come on now, don't think too hard.
I'm gonna say yes.
Why?
I'm gonna say yes only because the character has become so popular.
I said don't think about that, yo.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So like for storyline wise, why do you
storyline wise?
Because of course he's gonna stick around because we love Loki and Tom Hiddleston. But just for story purposes, why do you think he sticks around?
You know what? Ooh.
I'm just saying, man. It got to be more than just we love Tom Hiddleston.
Ooh, maybe he don't.
More than that.
Maybe he don't. Maybe this version of Loki doesn't, but another version of Loki does. Maybe somehow Kid Loki comes back into play, and we work that into Young Avengers. Take that, Rashad.
Good. I'm gonna say no because I really think that in order for this, even though it's not our Loki, in order for this, for Loki as just a generalized character to come full circle, he has to make the ultimate sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? There has to be a moment where our Loki, the Loki that we think we know the most, actually sacrifices himself for the greater good, because he wasn't trying to die at the beginning of Infinity War. He was not trying to die.
Well,
he was trying to kill Thanos. You know what I'm saying?
About this? What if we're gonna call this Loki on this show New Loki?
Okay.
We'll call him. What if New Loki finds a way to take the place of Prime Loki?
Oh, we'll call him TVA Loki.
TVA. What if TVA Loki replaces Prime Loki and sacrifices himself to die in place of the Prime Loki that we know?
Oh no! So like, I mean, that could work. But I'm not. I had that. I don't know. Like, last question that we done with these theories. And this is my theory, and I think I said it. I'm not sure if I said it last week on a video.
Okay.
My theory is by the end of this series, they're going to defeat the Victor Timely Kang, and Sylvie and TVA Loki are going to run the TVA together. So I feel like this could be the second or third contingency plan that He Who Remains initially had, because he offered this to them, and she chose violence. You know what I'm saying? And now that my theory is starting to look a little bit better, because you saw it. She didn't kill Tomlin. You know what I'm saying? She actually had a little bit of a heart, because
and he was talking to her like, "Hey, I'm not that guy."
He looked like Big Machine. What's going on with you future women? You know what I'm saying? We got the AI trying to
sexually assault me.
Yeah, trying to get essayed out here. And then we got we got you trying to kill me for real. So like so I really think that Loki and Sylvie are going to be the one to bring balance to the TVA. That's my theory.
You know what, Rashad? I like that theory.
You're welcome.
I really like that theory. I really do, and I can see
Mm-hmm.
that possibly happening. That they basically run it together.
And then we can have season 3 of Loki and Sylvie running the TVA, just not getting along and trying to figure it out, and them like having this weird sexual energy. That would be amazing to watch. You know what I'm saying? Because you know it's going to happen.
Yeah,
you know it's going to happen. Loki love Loki. If just like
if
Kanye,
anything,
just like Kanye like Kanye.
Kanye.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. You know, so yeah. I mean, you're right. I mean, that's basically what when it comes from with those theories with that. Yeah, so that's
man. So if y'all got a theory about this season, or even shoot, we went on a tangent about the MCU, put it in the comments below.
Yes.
We'll be back next Friday with episode number 4 of season 2 of Loki. And man, it's just a good time, man. Also, don't forget the Marvels come out November 10th. We'll be reviewing that as well. That's Veterans Day. Yeah.
Also, to check out came out last year. Me and Rashad loved it. Werewolf by Night is now in color.
It is. It definitely.
It's in color now. But check you guys. I'm gonna check it out and see. I still love the noir version of it. The black, whatever. That was a surprise for. I think a surprise for both me and Rashad. They dropped that out, and it was really good. That came out or whatever. So we coming down the stretch end of the year, and I think a few more things supposed to be coming through. What if it's supposed to be popping up? If I'm not,
maybe.
Okay.
It should be.
Yeah. What if should be popping up, and then like you said, the Marvels coming. I'm not excited to see it, but I want to see it to see where the MCU is headed.
Basically, I mean, like I'm excited to see Tiana Paris.
Yeah.
And on that note, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And man, check us on socials. Like, get at us, 1300 on TikTok, just got over 1300 on YouTube.
Let's go.
And we steady climbing, man. Climbing the monetization and sponsorships. Anyway.
We appreciate it all, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We just two dudes who just love this stuff.
That's really it. We just doing it because we want to, not because we ain't paid to yet.
Yet.
All right, man. Till the next time.
Peace out, y'all.